number 5, that's my go-to. Okay, because I can control the elbow, which controls your power coming in. I can move this past while I'm, taking care of business. But the more that I can move it to opening that shoulder up, the less strength you have coming through. The question that it doesn't answer is what happens if I'm more out here and you're coming in with this. I can, but that's still going to allow a lot of forward entry unless I'm rushing in as well.
Yeah, putting your weight into it.
Right, which is good and it's still proper, but is it more risky? Yeah, because I really haven't gotten myself out of line with this stuff.
Yeah.
So if I happen to
slip,
miss, that's what happens. If you see it coming and you go down, I miss. All right. So, there's always, I teach that one number 5, but most of the time we're going to be like this. And if I can come through and catch this, I can still do what I need to and it work. So, coming for something that's a little bit longer, then I need something. I'm not a fan, and what you're going to see me do is cutting down on it. I'm not a fan of this with a cross on it. Ever. One hand, yes. One hand split X, yes. So if that's a good answer when this comes in, I move this out. Because I can take it and I can, all right. Once this is at its full apex, it's fine. I just need to make sure I'm out of the way. Whether I'm curving my body or just coming out of the way. But now if I'm jumping out of the way, which is proper and valid, because if we're here, that really comes in, I might need to. But I've got to redirect this. If I don't have that, if it doesn't occur to me, then I'm going to look at when it comes in, I've got to get myself out of the way. But I'm using this 2-hand push, obviously providing there's not a double-sided knife. So, but I'm coming here. We can go to more plastic if you want. But as I'm hitting, but that's the idea. I'm also using knife and I'm also hitting. But I'm hitting across here is more nerves. Okay? But I'm coming once that's there, then I can come in. So you're coming in. And that's what I'm coming. If I'm not trying to be lethal, it's there. If I want to go for the eyes, go for the forehead, go for the chest. Okay? If I go for the forehead, it just bleeds a lot. Okay? Go for the eyes. I can take the eyes out. Haven't killed them. I can go for the mouth. Okay? Obviously throat is lethal. Coming across the chest, you make your arms really weak. Because
cut and tack.
When you cut them right across the back, you're going to lose a lot of the strength out of your arm. For sure. Okay? But where I've got to be, I've got to come in and I've got to monitor that. Then I can come and I can do what I want. Okay? So if I'm looking at here, if I decide I don't want to be lethal, I can get a nice cut if I want, or I just come in and up. We can go back to slam the hand down, cut through, cut through. If I want to do it with biomechanical cuts. Okay? That's up to me. So the whole idea is I'm just coming in and in. So I'm going in. Up is a good one. That gets old after a while. We can come up here. But it is a combination of target. Make sure that your target, but also, and then I can come up, rip that through. I haven't done anything with this here, so I want to be able to do that.
Keep track of it.
But if I'm getting good cuts and you still have your knife and I'm taking away your ability to chase after me or get to me, then as long as you still have your knife, we're going to be different. Now, you can also come in and work with this. I can come up, I can hit, and then I can repeat. I forget the Filipino word for this, but that would be kind of, you just get this guy, come through, and I'm just and they're just coming through.
That's in the same
I mean,
spot.
literally, it's
tearing
like,
apart.
if you came in, boom.
And probably fast as hell too.
This thing is, and then I can cut from here. That doesn't matter to me anymore. You can't use this. Okay? You're gonna live, but I just cut your bicep 2 to 3 times, and I cut you across the pecs.
Right.
Unless you want to fight with that other hand while you're losing blood, you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Okay? Come in here.
Yeah.
And the key is make sure that you're jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you don't, if you just stand there, that's going to be a problem.
Straight in, straight in.
You can go, you can come in here, you go through, you're just a little bit out of position for what we're doing.
Okay.
Now, it's all valid and proper, so if you come in, I'm coming in, that's where I'm coming in. Okay. Which even then, you actually caught me a little bit. If we were doing markers, I had a remark. It wasn't enough to make a strong cut. Right. It might, I believe it might cut my shirt, but I felt it coming in.
It's close.
Yeah, it's close, but also means that's how quickly you're coming in. I've got to move. Don't move out of the way. Or I've got to come in here. And then I'm straight. And, the slice is always fun because it's there. The stab is always good. And don't forget the basic torso itself. Coming in. Alright. It's just to be easy. Here. To here. I can come down here. So if I want. Nothing wrong with that because now, straight mobility, I might want to come down and stick because it's too much. Too much room for error. So if I come down and then I stick and I slice, then I can slice up. Now I'm going to let you bleed, where you're going to worry about bleeding out, or I can just stick it in with a combo cut, then come up here.
What about if I'm hitting here? What if I just run straight up?
You can.
And like straight to here, and bow.
There is some thought if I come through and I'm running this up, then I'm going to select. If I can get there, if I know I've gotten and I'm running that fillet up, that's great. It's there.
Okay.
All right.
Less control, maybe, probably.
And actually, this